Hey, welcome back to Movement with Tim. I'm here today with Caroline, and today we're going to be doing a Vinyasa flow class. All right, so let's begin in child's pose.
Watch out like that. Excuse you.
All right, so just take a moment here in child's to ground yourself and get centered. And what does that mean? Like when we're stressed out, our breath is usually shallow and we feel contracted in the body. So take a moment just to let your breath slow down and expand and feel more freedom in your body. The places that feel tight, that feel contracted, let them start to open up. And then come up onto your hands and your knees. Pause here, and we'll start to wake up the spine. As you exhale, round your back and look back at your navel. Then inhale, arch your back, wheel your chest forward. Good, keep going with your breath. Exhale, and inhale. Go one more time, make it nice and fluid. Then come into a neutral spine, hold there, and stretch your right leg back behind you without your hips twisting. Then stretch your left arm forward without your ribs twisting. Pause, hold, draw the navel up towards your heart, and move your right butt towards the right heel. Then as you exhale, bring your elbow and your knee together. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, elbow, knee together. Inhale, reach back out. One more time, exhale, elbow, knee together. Inhale, reach back out. And lower your hand and your knee down. Then change, just watch out for the dog's tail. Change sides, stretch your left leg back behind you. Pause. Keep your middle lifted and send your right arm forward without the ribs twisting. As you exhale, come together. Inhale, reach out. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Lower your hand and your knee down. And then stretch back into downward dog. So just take a moment here in down dog. Feel the places that feel tight. Feel the places that feel open. Let the hands open up into the mat. Let the soles of the feet open, the toes spread. Then even if you have to bend the knees a little bit, start to draw the hips up and back, lifting from your inner thighs, hips reaching up and back away from your wrists. And then feel space start to come in between the joints of your spine. All that tension, all that sinking that tends to happen, breathe space there. Less about how far you're going into the pose, more about the space for the spine and the opening in the hands and the feet. All right, then we're going to do a little planking warm-up, planking variations before we do the sun salutation. So as you inhale, glide forward into plank pose, bring your shoulders stacked right over your wrist, so the shoulder head is aligned over the heel of the hand more. Pause, and then as you exhale, stretch back to downward facing dog, nice and slow with your breath. Feel your arm muscles working. Inhale slowly, glide into plank pose. Pause, and as you exhale, stretch back. Again, inhale slowly into plank. Pause. Now challenge your core strength. Without your hips twisting, lift your right leg an inch. Change legs, lift the left leg up an inch. Set that foot down and stretch back to downward dog. Then inhale the right leg up from the inner thigh. As you exhale, bring your knee to your right armpit. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to your left armpit. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bring your knee up to your chest. Shift into plank pose. Step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Then lower your back knee down to the floor. Bring your hands onto your right knee and slowly start to upright yourself. As you reach down through your left shin, draw your navel in, then send your arms forward and start to raise your arms up, nice and slow. Then bring your hands back down to the mat. Stretch back to downward facing dog. As you hold in down dog, get even on the hands. Raise your left leg up from the inner thigh, inhale. Exhale, knee to armpit, left armpit. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale to the right armpit. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Pull up high and step your foot all the way up. Lower your back knee down. Then lift from your belly. Bring your hands to your knee, upright yourself. Send your arms forward and raise the arms all the way up. Stay tall through all four sides of your waist instead of sinking into your lower back. So again, looking for that space in the spine as we start to warm up. You'll be able to go deeper as the muscles start to warm up, but initially, don't try to jam yourself so deep in these poses. All right, bring your hands back down and stretch back to down dog. Then inhale into a plank position. Let's warm up the back muscles, lie down on your belly. Stretch your arms straight back behind you. Then lift your shoulders, head, chest up. Your internal rotators, those are the muscles in the front of your arms and your chest, and they want to roll your shoulders in. They get really tight and strong. Your external rotators, the muscles in the back, they're a lot smaller and not as strong and big as the internal rotators. So start to wake up these little external rotators that live in the back of the armpit, shoulder. Good. And also start to wake up the muscles in between your blades. Draw the blades onto the back. As you do that, the lower back will want to crunch, so instead lift up from your belly. So this is the muscles that we need to engage for a healthy up dog. If we're not working these muscles, we'll tend to sink into the lower back. Stretch the legs, move the buttocks down. Then bring your hands under your elbows and roll through into up dog. Draw the shoulder heads back, chest open. Glide back to downward facing dog. Good job. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward, let all the air out. Press down through the feet and inhale, come all the way up to stand. Raise your arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Sun salutation A. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back one leg at a time into plank. Chest open, shift forward and lower slow with control. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Bend the knees, look in between your hands. Step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. Exhale the hands to your heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back and lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Sun salutation B. Look in between your hands. Step or float up to the front. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise the arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back and lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your dog pose. As you hold in down dog, rotate the triceps towards the floor, spin the biceps up towards the ceiling. And again, work on drawing the hips up and back and away from the wrists. Create more space through the spine by working the legs. Then look between your hands, step or float up to the front. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose, bend knees, sit back. Come up to stand, bring your hands to your heart. One more B salutation, inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your down dog and breathe. All right, so today we're going to work on the standing poses, on engaging the hip and elongating the spine. So step your right foot all the way up to your right thumb. And then turn your back heel down like a warrior two back leg. Now just check out your right hip. As you look down at your right hip, guide the outer right hip back and in, so it looks like the center of your hip is aligned with the center of your ankle. Then from that, lift from your belly and come right up into warrior two. See if you can keep that feeling of the right center hip aligned and the knee pointing forward. So it's not just significant for alignment, like looks pretty, whatever, but also important for using the muscles in your hip. You're going to be strengthening those muscles in your hip and helping to lengthen your spine better. Grow tall, let the head balance right up on top, let the chest open. Okay, so now maintaining that track of your hip, bring your right forearm onto your thigh and take your left arm over your ear. So this is like most basic to see if you can keep the forearm on the thigh. You might be able to go lower and slide the hand towards the floor. But if your butt starts to swing out behind you, then that's a little too deep for your body. You don't have the flexibility to go that deep and still work your hip right. More important to work the hip right and to lengthen the spine. Good, inhale, come back up to warrior two. Nice, all right, hands to the mat. Step back to down dog or out of vinyasa, your call. Then step your left foot all the way up by your left thumb. Turn your back heel. So we're doing this little wider stance to help to track the hip. Draw that outer left hip back and in so that your center hip is lined up with your ankle. Then maintain that as you lift from your belly and come up. Nice. Now grow tall through the sides of the spine, balance yourself right over top of your pelvis, and let the head balance right up on top. Energize the arms, spread from the collarbones out through the fingers. Then bring your forearm down onto your thigh and your right arm over. Then just feel or look down and make sure that your center hip is still lined up. Maybe you can slide your hand a little bit deeper as you've held a little bit longer without losing the hip. Then from your top arm, rotate just like in down dog. Turn the bicep back, tricep down. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Good, vinyasa or just step back to dog, your call. All right, step your right foot for warrior two. Come right up into warrior two like we practiced. Good. Then straighten your right leg. Keeping that hip tracking, start to reach out for triangle. Good, and hold here for 5 breaths. Stretch down even through your right foot. Reach down into your back heel and grow the spine long through the line of your back ankle. Then bring your top hand onto your hip. Look down at the floor. Open your chest. Bend your right knee. Now keeping that right hip on a track, it's going to require a lot of flexibility. You might want to use a block if you're less flexible. Slide your hand a foot in front of your pinky toe and step up. Keep tracking the hip as you go up. Good, now you're really using your outer hip muscles. And as you engage that right outer hip here, feel that you can open the front of the pelvis better. Raise your back heel an inch above your pelvis, long line of the spine with the back leg. Open across the chest again, and once you're steady, take your left arm up. If you need to keep the hand on the hip the whole time, that's fine, no worries. Good, steady here. Now bend your right knee, but keep your back leg reaching, and then fold forward at the front of your mat, Uttanasana. Then take your feet outer hips distance apart. Turn the big toes out just slightly. And keeping your heels grounded, start to lower your hips towards your heels. Bring the elbows onto the insides of the knees, hands to prayer position. Hold here for 5 breaths, or place the hands down and come into crow pose. Hook the knees in the outer upper arms and lean into your chaturanga arms. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lightly step or float back to chaturanga. All right. Then step your left foot for warrior two. Inhale, come on up. Straighten your left leg and start to reach out over that leg. Place your hand down. Bring your top hand onto your hip. Look at the floor. Bend the knee, but keep the hip tracking as you bend the knee. Then slide the hand and foot in front of your pinky toe. Keep the hip tracking as you step up. If you lost a little bit, that's okay. Hug the left hip in again. Then raise that back heel an inch above your pelvis. Hold. Open your chest. And maybe take your arm up once you're steady. And hold for 5 breaths. Then bend your left knee, stay steady, and fold forward at the front of your mat. Good. Round 2. Squat down for the squat malasana or go right into crow. 5 breaths. Then lightly step or float back to chaturanga. And make your way back to down dog. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Then bring your hands behind your back. Grab opposite elbows or take reverse prayer if you have the shoulder wrist flexibility too. Straighten your right leg and step your back foot a little bit closer. Inhale, shoulders back, chest open. Exhale, start to fold forward, maybe halfway if you can do it with a flat back. Most people won't be able to go halfway because the hamstrings, back body are too tight. As you pause here, reach down into the feet evenly, draw your belly up, and then fold all the way out over your leg. So just a little pause to feel what halfway felt like, and then to go fully as deep as you can. Let the whole back of the spine open up evenly, breathe, and keep that right center hip on a track with the ankle. Then press through your feet. Inhale, come back up. And drop your arms down at your side. Chest open. Good. Start to lean forward again. Maybe halfway. Don't let the back round go to where you went last time. Maybe slightly deeper. And then lift your back heel up, keeping your chest open. Keep that right hip on a track. Lean right into warrior three. Step right up. Good, then slowly, with control, come all the way up to stand. Lower your left foot to meet your right. Good job. All right, balance across the feet. Then bring your right knee up to your chest, left hand to your hip, right hand to right knee, or take your right big toe out in front of you. It's not a requirement to do the full extended leg pose, but if available, go ahead. Stay tall up over your left ankle with the chest open. Then change hands and twist. Bring your left hand to the outside of the foot or the outside of your bent knee and stretch your right arm back behind you. Look forward, raise your arms up. Then bring your hands to your heart and tip back into warrior three just for a breath. Step back into warrior one. Raise your arms up. Then bring your hands behind your back. Grab opposite elbows or take reverse prayer. Straighten the left leg. Roll your shoulders back, chest open. Start to fold forward, maybe halfway, without letting the back round. Pause. Then lengthen all the way out, navel in, keep reaching even into the feet. The tendency will be to sink into your legs to try to go deeper. Instead, grow the legs longer, reach through the feet to the floor, draw from your inner thighs up into the socket, and let the pelvis tip even deeper. Press down through your feet and inhale, come all the way back up to stand. Release the arms down at your side, chest open, and start to tip maybe halfway without the back rounding. Many will just be stuck halfway of halfway. That's okay. Now lift up your back heel. Stay even on that left foot and keeping the hip tracking. Lean right up to balance. If it goes well, it might feel a little unsteady because you'll be using your hip muscles different than you ever do. That's okay. Good, then slowly with control, come all the way up to stand. Stand tall in mountain, balance even across your feet. Then bring your left knee up or your left big toe. Good, breathe through your nose. Then change hands and twist. Open up to your left. Good. Then look forward and raise your arms up. Bring your hands to your heart and tip back into warrior three. Pause there for a moment. Just remember, balance is a practice. Step back into warrior one. Raise the arms up. Bring your hands to your heart. Spin your back heel up. Then start to lean your chest out over your knee. And twist. Take your left elbow to your knee. Good. Now soft eyes straight ahead. Reach the chest forward. The deeper you twist, the more the chest will want to sink onto your thigh. Instead, as your navel releases to the spine, let your chest spread and reach away from your right thigh, like it got pulled from a string. Then bring your hands back down to the mat. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa, your call. All right, second side. Step your left foot for warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale the hands to your heart. Lean, as you spin your back heel up, lean your chest out over your knee. Keep the chest open and twist, take the elbow down. Keep your back leg strong. Imagine your back foot was like wedged up against the wall and you're reaching through your back leg through your foot. Let the navel soften into the spine so that the chest can open and the ribs could turn a little bit more. Then bring your hands back down to the mat and step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Look between your hands and hop right to a seated position for boat pose, Navasana. Nice. All right. So balance in between your sit bones and your tailbone. Think of them like a tripod. You're not going to lean back too far, forward too far. Feel where the spine wants to sink. Grow the spine taller. Good. Now bend the knees and with control, lower onto your lower back. Tuck your low abs in and then stretch your legs straight out at a 45-degree angle. If it's too much on your lower back to do that transition, you can put your hands down as you lower and you can keep the knees bent the whole time. If the back is healthy, then come back up without touching the floor. Otherwise, you can use your hands to come back up. Oh, nice. Hold there, tuck your abs in, and see if you can lift the feet a little higher. Then slowly lower. You can modify by bending the knees and setting the hands down to lower. Otherwise, you might be able to do it with straight legs. And then come back up. See if you can lift the feet a little higher. And slowly lower. Hold there. Grip those low abs in. Is that some digestion happening over there? That happens to me too. Take your right leg straight up. Then bring your hands up and over to the outside of your ankle. The head will want to do the work and the neck. Instead, use your abs. Crunch from your abs. Change sides. Go up and over to the outside of the left leg. Change sides. Go to the right leg. Change sides. Go to the left. Good, then bring both legs up, lower the head down, put your fingers behind your ears, elbows out wide. Cross your right ankle over your left. Now squeeze in with the legs and lift your hips up, just an inch, and crunch up to your knees. And hold for 5, low ab torture. 4, squeeze those low abs. 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips and the head, change the cross of the ankles as the second side. Now try to lift the ceiling straight up with your feet. Lift the hips and push straight up, and then crunch up. Your hips won't go up as high if you lift that way, but that's the effort, pushing straight up. Good, and hold for 5, 4, 3, crunch up 1 more inch, 2, and release. Good job. Set your feet down. Good, and let the elbows open up to the side. Take your feet the width of your mat. Let your knees swivel over to the right. Change sides. Let your knees swivel over to the left. You have to use bear as a prop.
Hello.
All right, hug your knees into your chest. Roll yourself up to seated. Then plant your feet hip socket distance apart. Put your hands a foot behind you. Roll your shoulder heads back. All right, so this next pose can be a little gnarly on the shoulder. So just make sure that you can feel your arm muscles working and your core working so that it's not all sinking into your shoulders. Then start to lift your hips up. Feel the arms support you, press the hands. Now roll the shoulder heads back and expand across your chest. Then see if you can lift from the outer hips a little bit higher, but still keep the knees pointing straight ahead so that you're using your glutes properly. Engage the backs of the legs, move the buttocks out of the lower back, and then lower your buns back down. Take a breath. Good. Now we're going to try it with straight legs, a little bit harder. Stretch the legs straight out. Hands a foot behind you. Turn the shoulder heads back. Keep the toes pointing straight up, and as you press down into the center of the heels, lift up. If it's too gnarly on your shoulders, just go back to the last one. Good. Now turn the thighs in towards each other and reach through the toes towards the floor. Roll the shoulders all the way back. Lift the chest up to the ceiling, and then lift up higher from your outer hips. Imagine that your frontal hip bones are drawing closer towards each other and the thighs are spinning in. Then open up that chest even more. And slowly lower yourself back down. Good. Then lie down onto your back. Bring the heels close to the buttock, feet hip distance apart. Press the heels down and come into bridge pose. Let's grab the sides of the sticky mat and roll up onto the tops of the shoulders. Chest open. Keep those knees pointing straight ahead instead of letting the thighs twist out. Then lower yourself back down and take a breath. Now position your hands like you're going to go for wheel. You don't actually have to go for wheel. Pause there. Just to do this stretch is a lot for most people. So let the hands open up even into the floor, and then start to turn your elbows in without clenching around your neck. Then see if you can lift your hips up, still keeping the space for your neck, still keeping the elbows in. Then, as long as your neck is healthy, lift up onto your head for a breath. Pause there, reach through the crown of the head down and move the thoracic spine in, elbows in, and then, if possible, press the hands and feet evenly, come all the way up. Now use the legs more, like 68% legs. Work the legs. Reach the heart towards the wall behind you. Reach the hips to the wall in front of you. Pull the hips and the chest away from each other. Imagine someone had moved your back ribs further away from your buttocks for you. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Good job. All right, then let's do a little twist to release the back. So open your right arm out to the side, cross your right knee over your left knee, shift your hips over to the right a little, and let your knees fall over to the left. Then bring the knees and the hips back to center. Change the cross. Cross your left knee over. Shift the hips over to the left a little. And let the legs fall over to the right. Bring knees and hips back to center. Gently hug your knees into your chest. Then take happy baby. Reach onto the insides of your knees. Grab a hold of the outsides of your feet or your big toes. Just let the back spread and release now. Then hug the knees back into the chest. And stretch your legs out along the floor for corpse pose. Let the palms turn up at your side. Let your feet fall open. Good, just let the body drop now. So notice that Shavasana comes in waves or layers of relaxation. Initially, there's one big release, but then with each exhalation, allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper inward. Then gently bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring your palms together. Sit tall with the chest open. Namaste. All right, so thanks for practicing today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, leave a comment, let us know what you thought, questions, things that you like, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks to Caroline for coming out. You can follow Caroline on Instagram, Caroline Oss.
Yep.
At Caroline Oss. All right. So thanks for watching today and have a great day. I'll see you next time.